guys, thank you so much for joining me in another video. So as you can tell, based on the title, today we are talking about the style and the handbags of Tonne Goodman. I wanted to talk about her for a couple different reasons. The first being, she's a Vogue editor. Vogue editors are just known for having just exceptional style. They're people that are in the world of fashion. She's been doing this for decades. Analyzing her style, there's a lot to learn. But I also want to talk about one of the most defining things about her style is she's very much a minimalist. I talked about minimalism when talked about Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. I talked about minimalism when talking even about Phoebe Philo's approach to fashion. In that video, a lot of parallels and connections were made between the aesthetic philosophy of artists, painters, specifically in like the mid-century, mid-20th century, a lot of what was going on in New York. In this video, I want to go further into minimalism, but in the direction of design, looking at design philosophy. Tonne Goodman's style is someone really reflects that, sort of this like functionality of her style. In this video, I really want to emphasize this concept of design. So yeah, let's get into this. So about her mother was an artist and she spent a lot of time at museums growing up that really informed her visual style. And she's talked about how her parents, they were just known for being like just an incredibly fashionable couple. When she was a young woman, she was a model, and then she started to work for Diana Vreeland. She also worked for Calvin Klein in the late 80s and early 90s, and in 1999 she joined Vogue. She began producing the modern woman portfolios, and there's like this sleekness about her work. And while at Vogue, she is known for styling her subjects in a classic, clean-cut manner, practical woman as she put it. And one kind of defining thing about her style is she has really perfected the concept of the style uniform. So before we get into handbags, let's look at her style uniform. This is her go-to outfit. The first thing that she is very known for is she's known for wearing scarves, specifically these silk scarves by this brand called Charvet. This is a brand that is known for silks. It's a brand that has established itself in menswear, in making men's dress shirts and ties. It has this like international reputation with royalty, presidents, like people in like really high positions. One thing she also always wears is she will always wear a long sleeve. You never see her in sleeveless tops and t-shirts. She's always going to wear a long sleeve, and it could be a turtleneck or it could be a button down, but she's always going to wear a long sleeve. She actually wears a lot of her basics from Organic by John Patrick. So just really high quality cashmere, silks, the highest quality materials. And this is kind of the thing about the style uniform. Once you've perfected this idea of your style uniform, you're just gonna get the best of what that product is. You're gonna get the best, like most premium scarves, right? Another thing about her is she's often seen wearing either like a pea coat or a blazer, some kind of more formal coat. It's not very casual. Like you're not gonna see her in like a slouchy jean jacket or a moto leather jacket. There's something very like put together about her outerwear, but it still allows itself to be casual if it needs to be. This is probably the most signature piece she is known for. This is the piece that I think everyone knows is her style, and she always wears white denim. For a very long time, she was someone that wore Levi's 511 jeans. So this is a very slim, straight cut, very classic cut. It's not trendy, but apparently now, according to articles, she also wears other brands like J brand. I don't know if it's because like Levi's quality. Brand aside, she is known for wearing a pair of white jeans. And if you think about it, like white jeans will always look smart. It just looks more put together than a blue jean, but it still isn't overly formal. Another thing that she's known for is wearing loafers. She often is seen wearing Belgian loafers, either in suede, leather, and like blacks, browns, navies. Belgian loafers are very popular. Just reading GQ articles, a lot of people that work on Wall Street in New York, so like banker kind of guys, like this is kind of their shoe of choice. And there's kind of like this willingness to wear things that are a little bit more masculine, like her father's belts. Another thing she does not wear is she does not wear jewelry, but she wears a watch. Again, kinds of accessories she wears. She's gonna wear a scarf. She lives in New York, gets cold there, so you know, scarf makes sense. She's gonna wear a watch because there's that functionality aspect. At the end of the day, she's styling magazine covers. She's on set. Like, she doesn't want to have these like dangly things affecting her ability to work. It seems crazy, like, why would someone do this? Like, why would someone wear only white pairs of jeans? She doesn't only wear jeans. Like, there's other outfits where you can tell she's at maybe a more formal event. She won't just wear that, but like her everyday, like her working attire. Why would she do this? Well, like, I think she's someone that has to make hundreds of creative decisions every single day. What's the model gonna wear? What's the lighting gonna look like? What is the concept for this photo shoot? What is the new theme for this cover going to be? She is making hundreds of creative decisions every single day. It's like almost like work for her to have to kind of do this, while for us it's like very fun to like dress up. That's just what she does all day. Or maybe she's just found like the most effective, like perfect method of dressing. And that's not for everyone. I don't think I could ever do this, but I think it is fascinating. So now on to handbags. Now, when we talk about handbags, one thing I wanted to look at was design and this concept of what is good design. As someone that I think her style and her approach to fashion, she's very much interested in functionality. Everything serves a purpose. There's nothing over the top. There's nothing excessive. Everything serves a purpose. I was thinking, like, what actually makes something good design? Like, what is practical good design? So there is a designer, an industrial designer by the name of Dieter Rams, who is very interested in this concept of functionality and good design and what makes something good design. And he came up with this concept of the 10 principles of good design. So we're gonna look at her handbags and see how these principles of good design are actually applied and used. I found this one picture of her, and I think this picture is taken in 2000s, and here she is with what she travels with. The first most iconic bag that we see here is a luggage. It's a piece of luggage. Yes, there are other bags. We'll get to those other bags. But we are looking at this Louis Vuitton luggage. Now, is Louis Vuitton really functional? Is Louis Vuitton really minimalist? That's debatable, but let's look at the first principle according to Dieter Rams, and it is good design is innovative. When I think about this idea of rolling luggage was a concept that was like invented in the 1970s. It was not Louis Vuitton that invented this, but rolling luggage is good design. Like, no one wants to have to carry like a briefcase style luggage bag with them that is like of heavy material. Like, think about old-fashioned Louis Vuitton trunks, right? As beautiful as they are, as stunning as they are, rolling luggage is more effective. And ultimately, like, good design evolves with the times. The second principle of good design is something that makes a product useful. It's a travel item. At the end of the day, it's useful. Yes, it may seem excessive, like it's a piece of luxury luggage, but I think this totally makes sense for her. Some people may argue, and I see this criticism too, like, is Louis Vuitton luggage like the best? It may not be, but maybe in 2000 this was probably one of the best options. Point number 3, good design is aesthetic. Aesthetic is, I think, very subjective, but I think Louis Vuitton monogram is, some people may find like basic or tacky, or I don't know. It's clearly stood the test of time. I think people are still buying Louis Vuitton luggage pieces. People are just buying Louis Vuitton luggage to decorate in their homes. So yes, I think Louis Vuitton luggage is aesthetic. On to the next bag. So let's look at this other bag here. And this is actually a bag that is on my wish list, not in this style, but this is actually the Hermes Garden Party. So this big tote we see right here, and she's got like a little Louis Vuitton key pouch here. Super cute. For the fourth point, according to Dieter Rams, good design makes a product understandable. There is nothing more understandable, easy to understand than the Hermes Garden Party. It is just an open tote. It doesn't get more like basic than this. I think this makes like a good carry-on bag. I think it's a great personal item bag. The fifth point, according to Dieter Rams, is good design is unobtrusive. So I think the Garden Party is possibly the most unobtrusive bag, especially in this kind of combination. I think this is like the canvas. It's not in a bright color. It is very unobtrusive. It's almost like you don't even have to think about it. It's like there, it's just your bag that you wear. Not thinking about the cons and, you know, whether or not this color is gonna look good with this. It's like a bag that you wear and get on with your day. It's fuss free. So the sixth point, according to Dieter Rams, is good design is honest. So when he says something is like honest, right? Like, what does that mean? Like, aren't all products honest? But I think what he is saying is this isn't trying to give the illusion that it is something that it is not. And aged gold hardware, like, why would you make something aged gold hardware if it wasn't actually aged gold? You know, something like that, right? It's like trying to give the illusion that it's something that it isn't. So let's look at the next bag. Now, honestly, I could have picked this other tote here. I honestly had no idea what this tote bag was. I only knew this was the garden party because I've been looking at the garden party. If you know what this tote is, please let me know in the comments. However, I have seen her wear this other tote bag and it almost like doesn't even matter, right? Because it's like a brandless tote, and she's been seen wearing this bag quite often. She almost, like in an interview, she's like talked about this bag and like passing as just like, I just bought it. It is actually this bag. So it is the Saint Laurent. I actually have this bag. It's the Saint Laurent like shopper tote, and this is just like probably my second most worn bag after my Telfar tote. But this is just a super practical bag. Serves kind of the same purpose as the garden party. This looks like it's like, I think the garden party 36. So this is kind of a smaller size. Like you can fit a laptop, you could fit a tablet, you could fit, if she has like a bunch of magazines, if she has photographs, like things that she needs for the purpose of like styling a shoot. She needs a camera if she's going to a fashion show. So the 7th point is good design is long lasting. So I think we can take that like literally, like it's gonna literally last you forever. If I'm gonna be honest, this bag I've had for over 2-3 years now, and I have used this. It's my most, up until my Telfar tote, it's been my most worn bag. I don't baby the bag whatsoever. Do I think it is the most durable bag? Have I had other materials? When I look at like my Birkin with the Ardennes leather, that bag is way more durable, but this so far has like done the trick. Number 8 is thorough down to the last detail. Now, if I'm gonna be honest, like I don't know if like when this bag was made it was thorough to the last detail. I don't know, like it's got this, and you don't really see her, you actually don't see like her wearing this. I never wear this like, you know, little logo bit out. The idea is ultimately that like everything has been thought through, and yeah, okay, I feel like maybe, sure. I don't know how thorough this bag was when it came to being down to the last detail. So the 9th point, according to Dieter Rams, good design is environmentally friendly. Frankly, I don't think, I'm gonna just say straight up, I don't think this was environmentally friendly made. I don't. And so for point number 10, I think this is kind of something that I think really defines, I would say, minimalism, design that is very functional, and I think Dieter Rams gets it. And it is good design is as little design as possible, right? And I actually think when you look at the garden party, when you look at the Saint Laurent tote, there is as little design as possible. Like, yes, maybe it's got the little logo. Yeah, so maybe not entirely the YSL one. One of his most famous sayings is less but better. And I think that's kind of the whole philosophy of good design, minimalist design, less but better. So in conclusion, what I find so fascinating about her style, and I think her approach to fashion, because there are minimalists like Steve Jobs where they wore like turtlenecks and denim jeans. Her style is very much rooted in having the most like premium, efficient and functional, but like highest quality of that specific item, and she'll buy it in multiple like variations and, you know, different colors, you know, maybe different sorts of silhouettes. But like just think about like the Charvet scarves or the Belgian loafers, and with curated wardrobes and curated closets, I think when we look at it, it looks like, oh my gosh, it's so like clean and minimal and simple. But I think there's actually, when I look at a lot of these closets and these capsule wardrobes, there's actually a lot of trial and error that had to get to that point. I don't have a wardrobe like this. Maybe one day I'll have a more curated wardrobe, but there's a lot of trial and error that is required to get to something so curated and perfected, just an absolute representation of your lifestyle. And that's just something I kind of observe when I look at a lot of minimalist, like I would say more like luxury minimalist approaches to fashion. That's not everyone. I think some people are just fine with like a Uniqlo turtleneck and like Levi's jeans. She doesn't just buy her clothes anywhere. Like everything is just so perfectly picked out. Like it's, I find so fascinating, and I would love to know like how she got to like the Charvet scarves. I would love to know how she got to the Belgian loafers. I think that's so interesting about really curated wardrobes, because yes, it seems so simple, but like there actually was a lot of work to get there. There was a lot of experimentation, a lot of trial and error. Anyways, that is my video. What did you think about this? What did you think about Tonne Goodman? What do you think about her style? Honestly, it is something I personally could not do, but I think it is fascinating. I think it is fascinating to look at people that have a more minimalist aesthetic, and I love looking at design and always fascinated at like the different approaches to minimalism. Anyways, that is my video. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you in the next one.